All right, well, I think that we're on, so hello, welcome. We're excited to have you here tonight at Loot Die Repeat. And we expect to do a lot of laughing tonight, as we have been the past couple of weeks, as we roll dice and we do some collaborative storytelling that is known as Dungeons and Dragons. And we are thankful that you are joining us as we tell this fun little story. And if you would like to catch up on any of the past episodes, they're all on YouTube. You can go there and check them out. And you also can let us know how things are going in the chat. Most of us have our computers, and so we are going to be chatting away when the story permits. And you also can affect the outcome of the game as you can cheer some bits. And if you type in !rewards, I think it is, then it tells you all the different things that you can purchase with bits. And we're working on getting that into the overlay so that you can see regularly what that stuff is. And we'll continue to make some upgrades and changes as we get along here. But we're still trying to figure out all this new fancy tech stuff. So if we do have any sound issues or anything happens with the audio, video, etc., let us know in the chat, and we would really appreciate that. And of course, we are going to give away some stuff tonight, and you can see the giveaways right here floating on the screen next to me. We're going to give away, as soon as we hit 100 subs, we'll give away that big dragon. But we're going to give away some dice, and we're going to give away some minis tonight. And I don't know what we put out there. If we, it might still be the same stuff that we had up there last week, so I don't think I switched it out. But there'll be new stuff given away, so yay for that. We will have a giveaway countdown timer up here eventually as well, so you guys can know exactly when those giveaways are going to take place. And so that's coming too. All right, well, enough with the dilly-dally. I hope that you stick around tonight and enjoy the stream, as we will be enjoying our role-playing. But without further ado, we're going to jump in and tell a little recap of what has gone before, and then we'll hop into the episode. So, our party of adventurers, who have yet to name themselves, but who Vajra Safar, the one kind of directing Morthos, has been calling the Shades, or the Shades of Grey, has come together, gathered together by Morthos, in an effort to take on the gathering storm in the eastern environs of the Sword Coast. They have embarked on their first little adventure, a bit of a test for them to figure out their abilities and skill sets, and to have a bit of a time to join together and kind of jive with each other to see how they can best utilize all of their skills and abilities. So they traveled to a unique and mysterious island at the direction of a Captain Cook who had hired Oliver, the Tabaxi sailor bard, to get him to the island. And Oliver agreed because there's an item there that he needs to recover to graduate from his bard college, the College of Swords. And so as they arrived at the island and have gone through several different tests, each one seemingly affording one of the members an opportunity to highlight and showcase some of their talents, the party eventually came upon a pit of skeletons. And that pit of skeletons, as you would expect, came to life, and with fiery, burning flames attacked them. As the party figured out the little puzzle that was hidden within the combat, they have just finished moving on from this room to a puzzle room where JB and Killian solved the riddle and were able to open the final door, which seemingly leads to the heart of the island, where they will soon find out what awaits them in this mystical place. And so, adventurers, the door slides open as the sword that was being held aloft by the statue in front of you has been put down on the ground, and you are seemingly allowed to pass. And you now have the opportunity to make any final preparations before you proceed down the blackened, darkened hallway into the beyond.
I don't think that could have gone any better.
That was so cool! Did you see me smashing those skeletons? Bam, bam! I think one time I whacked its head. Oh, I wish there was kind of like these like two little flags that I could have gotten it through, like the poles, and then I could have gone right through the poles. That was so cool!
Ray, you were smashing.
I see what you did there. You were smashing too.
Does anyone want to comment on how accurate this little guy right here was?
Oh, that was amazing.
Mr. Killian, like,
yes, good sir.
It's in your name. You were killing them.
Oh, yeah.
I give Bart a high
thank
five.
you.
I feel like I was very unprepared for that situation. And I apologize.
Well, I think you did the best you could, and we all appreciate the effort that you put into helping us all out there. You definitely did a great job helping me solve the little riddle at the end.
Indeed.
Oh, and Morthos, considering that you're completely blind, like your thing of colors was awesome. Like if I was blind, I don't know if I would be able to tell the difference of the shades of colors. But you got all the skeletons and you put them on the right shade. High five! And I give him a whack of a high five.
Yeah, that was actually pretty impressive how you can't see and yet you were just dodging things. Really?
Wasn't that so cool?
It was kind of like effortless, and I don't quite understand what I just saw at all.
You saw an expert, and clearly you fools are not yet.
Well, that's not a very
I
nice
quite
thing to say.
agree with this one here, you peons.
I
Anyway,
kid.
it appears the door is open, and perhaps we can move ahead now. Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Onward we go.
Yes, you, someone, go first. I'll be right behind.
I shall lead the way.
I think I'll stick with you, Captain. Captain's got to stick together.
Rubius is already through the door.
Yes, indeed. All right,
He's already through the door.
Rubius,
Come on.
you
let's go.
have no dark vision, and so you are
Rather
blindly
dark in here.
you are kind of blindly feeling your way through, and you certainly can light a torch if you care to.
If only I had something to illuminate the dark. Oh, wait, I do. It's a torch. He lights it up.
And
Here we go.
the torch lights, and it's actually rather unnerving.
I think I'll put this back out.
I would like to sneak up on Rubius and try to scare him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
He's just talking to himself, saying, looking for the bat. I've never seen one yet.
15.
15. Roll a. What's your passive perception, Rubius?
Please be a 10.
Perception?
Yeah.
It's a wisdom check.
Wait, like what I get when I roll?
Yeah, you don't need to
It's-
roll. It's just your it's gonna be 10 plus your
Oh.
well,
my
are you
passive-
proficient with it?
Where is it?
Are you
Perception, 13.
Oh, 13.
13. Yes! Okay, so all of a sudden, Ray, you sneak up on Rubius as he's holding a light of flame,
no.
looking
Anybody
out
home?
into the inky blackness around him.
I sneak up behind you and I, boo! As I kind of shake you.
Oh, Lord.
That's what you get from going ahead of everyone.
While Rubius initially yelps out, his body does not react in fear.
I was so positively
In fact,
frightened.
the torch. I need you to roll an attack roll.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna kill Ray.
But we lit on fire.
All
I'm a
attack.
barbarian.
Wait, so
Good
roll
luck.
D20 here?
D20, yes.
I'd love to see someone be verbally afraid but not physically afraid.
Right.
That's a 7.
So you yell out and you instinctively, with lightning quickness, swing the torch backwards in the direction of the scare. Ray, because you're so unnaturally tall, he kind of swings it and it goes right past your throat where a normal person's head would be, and you just kind of back off just in time to be thankful that his accuracy was a little bit off.
Hold on there, Rubius. It's just me. I'm just playing a little trick on ya. But we really should wait for the others. And I kind of just hold his head so he can't go any further.
Of course I...
Come on, guys!
I knew it was you. I just thought you were... Okay, full disclosure, I thought you were a bat.
Have you even seen a bat? I've seen a bat. They're so cool. Do you know bats are mammals? I didn't know that.
What is a mammal?
Oh, that's a long story. Maybe Killian could help us with that one, with him being all nature and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
bats are mammals.
I learned the more you know.
So Captain Cook walks up and he kind of is rolling his eyes, and he stands next to the two of you in the front. And you, as you look out, the pathway does continue forward, and it's made of kind of jade stones that are very neatly polished and almost like a brick, just kind of interwoven over each other. They disappear into what looks to be a black rock that formerly had been kind of like the tunnel around you guys, but now the black rock just kind of melds with the darkness around you. And you look up and there seems to be no ceiling. It's just open, but also dark. And really all you see is the path that leads forward, and you hear the faint sound of rushing water ahead. Which is why this is a bit unnerving, because you seem to be in a wide open space, but you don't see anything but darkness once you've passed into this next stage of the pathway.
Does anybody else hear the water?
I do. I can't see it though, but I hear it. Maybe we should run full-fledged into the water.
That sounds like a terrible idea. You could
Well, that's
drown.
what you did into the rock. I'm just following your lead.
But I'm a man. A full-grown man.
I say, Captain Cook, have you seen this before? Or
No,
heard this?
it's not to my recollection. I do believe our tests were different, though, as with this occurrence, I was not the one really participating in the tests. It was for the peons before me. As are you.
Oh, it's interesting. I'm trying to mimic the way he stands because I assume like he's a better captain than me, so I'm just trying to, imitation's the highest form of flattery. It's very interesting, you peons.
I kind of take
that's
my
not a
hand
very
and I
nice
lift
word.
Ollie's chin up a little bit higher, and I give him a wink.
Yep. Oh, thanks.
You do look the part.
A real captain now, just like Captain Cook.
Oh, no, yeah. So what are we gonna do here?
At least I think I can see.
Is there anybody who maybe can see in the dark a little better than some of us?
I can, yeah.
Can you tell us what's going on up ahead?
Sure. I guess I can walk ahead. If it's
Can I
that's okay with you, Captain Cook.
Yes, why don't you go ahead and I'll follow right behind.
Excuse me, I'll go right behind him so I can protect him better. I'm taller and stronger, and I want to make sure my friend Ollie stays safe.
Oh, I appreciate
I want
that.
to roll a perception check as well.
Okay. Roll. You do not have dark vision, so your perception only extends so far
Yeah.
with the lit torch.
Finally have dark vision.
I'm also really trying to listen for like if I can sense anything above or kind of feel where we're at. Well, that's
You sense
How
me
about
breathing.
How about a 18, which is my passive perception?
It just seems to be a large open void above you. You do hear the sound of flowing water ahead of you, but nothing beyond what I've already described.
All right. Yeah. I'll go ahead. Good captain said I should. Ray's behind me. I feel comfortable.
So as you continue forward,
I take out my shield, by the way.
very good. So you kind of,
Half blocking Ollie.
yeah, you kind of hit the latch on your shield, and it extends out on your arm. So it kind of is no longer in its retracted form on your buckler, but now in its full shielded form. You're kind of creeping next to him, and as you guys move on several hundred feet it's all basically a straight path. There really isn't any winding to it. You begin to see a light now ahead of you. It's a yellowish, goldish, greenish light that seems to be emanating from a doorway now, or an opening in the darkness that you can see in the distance.
Is it pretty?
It is. It's a very calming light.
Wow, this island has so many pretty lights, guys. First with the skeletons, and them being all different colors, and them being so pretty. Even though they were trying to kill us, doesn't really matter. Heads were kind of pretty on fire, and now this light, like, wow, what kind of island is this? Is this a magic island? Oh, of course it's a magic island. It moves.
Who has the bloody stick? Wave it! Good lord!
But I'm waving it in the dark, so I don't know.
I don't think I have dark.
I hold the torch up to the stick. Do you see the stick? Cease!
But the lights are just so pretty.
That's true, they are. I'm kind of like moth to a flame here, just kind of attracted to it.
And so you continue on with Ray behind you and Cook behind Ray. And as you approach the opening to this next area, you step forward, and a new room kind of opens up. And it's strange. It's almost like you're stepping out of a void into a open cave, but it's not quite a cave. You see water and hear water running on either side of the jade and now golden pathway as flecks of gold begin to kind of make their appearance within the stone. And as the stone pathway goes on, it turns from jade exclusively to gold. Follow the yellow brick road type.
I was actually gonna sing, so thanks for ruining my joke.
Represent the...
And there is water that is running on either side of the pathway, but spilling over into nothing. It's just mist and darkness beyond. The pathway is rather wide. It gradually widens from about 10 feet wide to about 50 feet wide. And as it widens, you see several large stone boulders in the water on either side of the pathway, jutting up out of the path and in the path itself. And they kind of provide some limited cover. As you look up, again, there is no sky, there is no stone around you, only misty darkness. However, there is light that emanates all around, coming from ahead, a small columned structure that seems to have a large stone platform rising from its center. So picture a kind of a circular stone platform, and then columns all around it with just a flat kind of ceiling. The columns and the stone all look to be white marble. It's all a very bright white framed against the darkness, and from the center of that stone platform is this kind of green gold light emanating and washing over the whole space. You do see several remains of skeletons strewn about the pathway and on the large rocks that periodically dot the area. And directly in front of the small columned structure, you see an enormous snake-like creature that is curled up. As you step into this area, Oliver, its head picks up and it kind of uncoils and looks out at you. You are about 100 feet away. It is far ahead of you, and you see its thick, muscular body with sleek green scales that transition from dark green to light green as it kind of goes around its body to its underbelly. Its underbelly has kind of tan, and so it's got tan scales running down the underbelly with dark green to light green coming around it. Instead of traditional reptilian features on its face, however, it has a more human-like appearance, a humanoid face. Its face is green, has a pointed nose and rounded ears, and it has a large, toothy mouth and almond-shaped eyes, and a shock of black hair that kind of drapes down a portion of it, of its elongated serpentine body. And as it looks at you, it kind of almost has a large smile that crosses its smooth lips as it looks out. And as the rest of your party kind of make their way through into this room, with Oliver at the front, Ray behind him, Cook behind, and I think Rubius, you were next. Say Morthos, Killian, and JB. The massive snake creature looks at you, Oliver, and says,
"Well, congratulations on passing the trials. You had a little trouble with the flames and skulls, but I knew you'd figure it out eventually. My name is Willem, and I'm the guardian of the heart of the island. I'm gonna have to ask that you stay right..."
And its tail kind of holds up in almost like a stop sign.
"That you just stay there right where you are and don't come any closer so that I don't have to hurt you. And we can have a little dialogue about how we're gonna go from here."
Now, Rubius, as you have seen this snake-like creature, your temples begin to ache in pain as you close your eyes and rub your head, and for a moment there are flashes of memories before your vision. You see flames and flashes of snakes, except these snakes aren't out in the wild. You see torches in a room and snakes slithering in a pit. Your vision flashes again to the image of a large golden snake statue with hooded figures around, and as you kind of spin around in the center of these hooded figures, one is grasping a snake and seemingly walking towards you before the vision or the memory or whatever this is disappears, and you're kind of back in the room where you were. As Willem speaks, Captain Cook begins to push past you, Ray, to get up in front of Oliver.
I immediately stick out my arm and go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Captain Cook! This is Oliver's mission. We're here for him."
He snaps his fingers and teleports ahead of Oliver. Wow. And as he does so, he takes out a scroll and he looks back at you and says, "Stand aside, peons, and let someone with real power handle this."
You need my help too?
He looks,
captains?
He looks at you and just, he motions his hands, and a shimmering energy wall of force appears in front of you, Oliver. You cannot get through it.
Oh, what the hell?
I attempt to run through it.
Okay. You rush up and slam into the wall of force.
Yep.
You take
22 damage.
You take 11 points of force damage.
Ollie, we can't get through!
Not yet. I see that. I did not. I can honestly say I did not see this coming.
I mean, who could? He was so nice!
I know. He was a captain after my own heart.
Willem begins speaking to Cook.
Well there, sir. I suspect that we've met before. I would caution you from coming any closer. You are currently 5 feet outside of my first area of defense, where I will need to strike you. Please, calm yourself, and you probably want to desist from casting your spell.
Can we hear him?
He is muttering, he has a scroll out and is muttering this, and he takes a step forward into the kill zone area and holds his hand out as if to cast the spell. The snake creature, with lightning quickness, slithers up next to him and bites down.
Captain Cook!
And you watch as Cook's right hand is bitten completely off of his body.
Saw that coming.
He screams out in pain and drops the scroll that he had, and he is looking up at the snake and goes to cast another spell.
Willem says, I really wouldn't try that if I were you. Just take a step back and it can go
fun as a bolt of lightning electricity shoots forth from Cook. It hits the Naga right in the chest before the Naga kind of quickly peels out of the way, and in one fluid motion lashes out with its tail and knocks Cook outside of the concentric circles that were around the Naga. He goes flying into the water and disappears over the side into the abyss. The Naga slithers over to the scroll, looks at it, and flicks that off the side as well. Goes back.
Is the concentration spell of the barrier still up?
It is still up.
I'm just banging on it.
He still draws breath.
Morthos will walk right up to the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Can he cast his echo on the other side?
He can.
And then he'll teleport to the other side.
Okay.
Well, hello there. You're an interesting one.
As are you. I, however, will not move forward anymore. Unlike the fool before.
He was, in fact, quite foolish. Why was he with you? He didn't seem to have a very pleasant disposition.
That I am unsure. For some reason, I feel he has one of our party members somewhat fooled. To believe they are, I do not know, friends maybe, but that is definitely not the case.
Well, perhaps we can talk with the rest of your party.
And its tail flicks forward and the wall of force dissolves.
Thank you. I was going to ask you if you could do something about that.
Well, you seem like a pleasant sort, and you are observing the rules of which I have set forth. Therefore, we can have a pleasant and kindly conversation.
How far away is that scroll that got flicked away?
It has disappeared into the abyss.
Oh.
I have decided that it is a snake.
Rubius,
I have deduced it.
I am impressed in your ability to deduce the obvious.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Was anyone else caught off guard here that Captain Cook turned on us?
What was he trying to do?
I don't know.
Think we have all been
I don't
trying
think
to tell you
so,
that
good
since
sir.
the beginning.
I did not see it.
I say he was a shady character from the moment we stepped on that boat.
I just thought, he liked the shade more than the sunlight.
I hate to break it to you, but he was a bad sort.
I didn't see it. Color me befuddled.
The
That's
world
all I
is
have
much
to say.
better without him or his hand.
Well,
Oh, my dear,
Olie, if
my
I am
dear
not
Olie.
mistaken, I believe this quest was started for you, no?
oh yeah, I mean, it helps me graduate because... you said your name was Willem?
Yes, that is in fact my moniker.
Oh, nice. I'm Oliver. Captain Oliver Flotsam, Ollie, or Oliver Flotsam, any of those.
Ollie works fine. Who are the rest of you fine folks? Oh, be careful, young lady. Watch your foot. You're, about to step into my, what I like to call angry zone.
Nah,
Ray
He is
takes
so
like
polite.
an exaggerated step backwards, but she's still very much in the front of the pack, kind of half protecting Morthos with the shield because he ran up first.
Excuse me, Mr. Snake.
Yes, my name is Willem. Willem works just fine.
If you could humor me. For my diary, what is your preferred prey?
My preferred prey
yes.
are anyone who comes into my angry zone.
Noted. I'll stay back.
That's Rubius.
Rubius.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
His memory's
likewise.
only about 7 days old.
Oh, well,
And that there next to him, the tall one, who kind of poofed on the other side.
yes, that was quite impressive.
Yeah,
I
that's-
haven't seen that before.
I mean, that's like the 3rd time I've seen it. It's weird. It's Mr. Morthos.
Hello, Mr. Morthos.
Do I know anything about this creature?
Roll history check.
What kind of creature it is? Oh, it would be an 11.
You have heard of giant snake-like creatures called Naga. You know that there are good ones and bad ones, but beyond that, you don't know much else.
Might I ask you one more thing?
But of course.
You seem so polite, and we are just trying to pass. I know we don't want to enter your danger zone, but is there a path around that leads not into the danger zone?
Well, actually,
Like a highway out of the danger zone?
that's a good one. Heard that story from a bard back east, but we don't actually need to get around him if he just has my compass. Do you have my compass?
I only have what is here. Around me, I have no possessions, but perhaps, it's here somewhere. Who had it before?
Well, that's how we got hooked up with Meanie Cook there. Kind of a dick. But he apparently knew how to find this island. And then he, I guess, knew that the compass was here, and I need the compass so I can graduate from college. And really, if I get that, we can go.
We mean you no harm.
Oh, none at all, actually, friend.
So you're just here for the compass, then?
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
Can you describe it for me?
It's
I can seek to locate it for you if it is here.
it's like it's a compass. It's round.
Just to find it.
It fits in the palm of my hand. It's kind of goldish, and oh, by the way, it is magical and it points to your heart's true north.
Oh, magical. Well,
He concentrates for a second, and his eyes close and open back up, and he kind of looks over at a skeleton which is against a rock within his danger zone. And you follow his gaze, and around the neck of one of the skeletons you see a closed square box.
I have one question. We do not wish to interfere with your danger zone. Might you, with your great tail, nudge that skeleton over to us so we may take the compass?
Or just hand it to me.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
You seem like a pleasant fellow.
Ah, thank you very much. Too right.
Tell me, what good will you do in this world?
Well, that's a big question, but I can only do what my trait's desire is, which is to be curious. That's what the Cat Lord gave me, and my whole goal is to kind of write my family story. And I need to be able to graduate college in order to fully write my family story. So you can kind of see ipso facto. This is kind of a small step to a big step.
And apparently Vaj said that he can save the world. I add enthusiastically.
Oh yeah, there's something
Vaj,
about
you're a Safar?
I need to meet this woman.
There's something about that too. Mr. Morthos gathered us all here under the pretense of helping us with our individual adventures, but
We're gonna defeat dragons!
among other things,
I would use that compass to find every bird in the world and catalog it.
Now, see here.
And snake, of course.
Have you been outside recently?
good question. I think I know
No,
where you're
I
going.
can't say that I have. I am the guardian of the temple here, and therefore I don't really venture out. I wait to see if any worthy folks make it to me.
If you were to look out to the northwest, towards the deserts, maybe you have family there, I am not sure, you will notice a very strange color enigma
Yeah, that's
in the
right.
sky.
Yep.
We are set, according to this fellow here, to end the evil that is causing this enigma.
A fight against true good versus true evil!
We are the good, apparently.
You seem unconvinced.
No, I mean, I'm sure we're good. I'm just. Can I tell you a secret? Can you? I don't want to. Can you come to me? I don't want to go in your danger zone.
He slithers up next to you, and its size is immense. It's about just the upper portion of its kind of body stands about 5 feet larger than Ray does.
Oh,
And then
wow.
you have the rest of its body just kind of coiled up behind it. So from end to end, this thing is probably like 30 feet long at
So
least.
that's like 10 kilograms.
Rubius, who was looking through the wrong end of his binoculars the whole time, goes, "Good Scott. It's a big snake.
Good
It's a very.
Quite large.
Not even a good.
That's So here's the secret. I'm not gonna tell them yet.
Love it.
I don't know if we can actually do it. We're gonna try, and we are good. I just don't know if we can do it.
Well, neither do I. I have
It's comforting.
no gift of divination,
Oh, okay.
but I am good at protecting things.
Pray tell. I presume we're at the center of the island, right?
That's correct.
And apparently you aren't protecting that compass.
No, that's just left over from one of the unworthy.
What are you protecting then? On this magical island
He just
that
kind of glances back over his shoulder towards the structure behind him.
What is the structure behind it?
You have heard him refer to it as the temple.
that's a temple.
I
Um,
saw earlier you looked at the scroll that the unfortunate fool that went over the edge. Do you know what it said? What was on it?
Yes, it was a scroll of banishment.
Oh man.
Apparently, he was trying to banish me so he could get to the temple and achieve what lies within. However, to his, unfortunate circumstance, he wouldn't have been able to get in anyway.
What does lie behind the temple? Or in the
And
temple?
what would you say is worthy?
Oh, it's a loyal, dutiful, just heart. Just like my master.
Who's
Who's your master?
Yep, that's the question that begged asking.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Who, me?
I quickly give him a guidance on the butt.
It technically the guidance needs to be given prior to the asking of the question.
Okay.
You can guide him, however, though, for any
Sure.
future rolls.
17.
17
Any excuse to touch his butt.
says,
Well, I serve Torm.
Torm. I have no idea who that is.
and he motions to a rock that you hadn't seen standing back before that is actually polished smooth, and you see a right-handed gauntlet held upright with palm forward that's just kind of here held like this. And JB, you now, having seen that, know that that is in fact the symbol of Torm, who is a god of duty, loyalty, and justice who serves under Tyr.
Hi, Torm!
Would you say that any of us are worthy to maybe enter this temple?
Well, that is, it sounds like not to have been determined yet.
Is there a test we can pass?
Well, you got here, but the fact that you don't know what is in there means that it's not time for you
I
to
don't remember what
pursue
I
it.
did 8 days ago. I'm not the right man to
That's
ask.
quite a problem, in fact. You should
But
probably
this
have
gentleman-
that looked at.
He's one of the kindest people I've ever met. Ask him.
I think he's talking to him.
No, you.
Oh. Me?
Well, and you.
That feels right.
I didn't see you. I was looking over your head.
Oh.
It happens a lot.
Well, Willem. Friend. Could you get me that compass?
He looks at you. Roll a persuasion check. You can now use your D4 if you care to, since you got
Can-
into you.
Can I look around to see if there's anything else laying around that looks intriguing enough to have him?
Roll perception.
I think that this temple here is a good temple, and so I know that I shouldn't enter that temple. Don't know about
the
the
guy that
rest.
you roll?
Wait, do I roll with advantage?
No, it's D4
Then
plus.
it's a 14.
Okay.
Make it a 19.
Okay.
Nice.
There is a flash of divination light. You pick up on it, JV, that comes from Morthos's hand and then disappears as quickly as it emerged. And the words of Oliver seem to have an even greater persuasiveness to them. And Willem looks at you and he says,
I'll tell you what. You can step into the outer ring, but don't move once you get there.
and it slithers back just enough to allow you to step into the outer ring.
Ollie, maybe you can talk to Bart about this too. Make sure that you might want to give him a bear hug.
Just gonna do that. And he turns around like 3 times to try to get Bart in his eyesight, and then grabs him, brings him up front. Now, Bart, listen. I don't want to die. We both saw what happened to Cook. Nod your head. He nods. Do you want to die? He shakes his head no. I need you to stay still and don't touch anything. Can you do that? Nods his head. No, seriously, can you do that? Nods his head really fast. All right. Let's not die. Bart goes back, kind of like goes on his shoulder to look, and we take 1 step forward and we stop. Like,
You step forward, and Willem, with lightning speed, coils himself around you, and his giant head looms over you and is staring into your eyes. And then
this is uncomfortable.
Well, I can make it far more uncomfortable.
Prefer if you didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what. You seem to have a good heart, as your friend surmised.
he uncoils from around you, and he, with his tail, gestures to another kind of circle. He says,
You may not pass that line. However, you can go and obtain the item from the skeleton.
which is outside of the second circle.
Okay. So I can just mosey on over there, not cross that line.
That's correct.
And, okay. But we don't want to die. Bart stays there kind of shaking. And we gently tiptoe not to cross the line, and we get over towards the box.
And you can grab the compass easily enough. The head falls off of the skeleton and topples into the darkness below. And you have the item as you open it up. it starts to just spin
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't really settle on any direction. But it matches the description that was given to you by Professor Sparrow.
Closes the box. Excuse me, Willem, sir?
Yes, yep.
Mr. Willem, can I walk back to my friends without crossing that line?
No. I will assist you in your future travels. Well, all of you, good luck. Perhaps, if Torm wills it, we'll meet again one day.
And it snaps its tail, and you are instantly back on the shore next to your boat.
Goodbye, giant snake.
As she looks at the ocean.
Oh, that guy was nice.
He was so cool.
I think your assessment of him is much more accurate.
I felt like he was as nice as Mr. Cook was
Mm.
on the way here.
I hope I can grow as big and strong as him.
All of them.
Yep.
Could you do me a favor?
Sure.
Could you write down the location of this temple real quick? Some sort of a note form so that we can maybe one day revisit Willem?
But the island moves.
It does move.
I believe the heart probably stays the same.
Maybe unless it's on a different plane, but yeah. So I'll bring out the map that I rummaged through, and I'll bring out my navigator tools and find the longitude, latitude, and mark it kind of like with a circle and an X marks the spot. That's where we are.
All right, I do appreciate that. I believe that we may need to come visit Willem once again.
Okay, yeah. Well,
It's like treasure.
it was.
Morthos.
Yes.
Morthos, what did you say the inspiration was from this Vadris lady? What inspired her to send you to us?
Inspired.
Was it a some sort of mental ping, or a divine inspiration?
So, there is, if you know who Vajra Safar is, there is many powerful people that are with her, one of which is a very, very powerful wizard who has the ability to see different paths, futures, maybe potential realities. And he, or I should say this group of people, is what he foresaw as being the best chance out of many possibilities to defeat the evil that is coming.
Oh, okay, all right. So this was a magical inclination.
I would say yes.
All right.
Might I ask something? To the whole group?
No,
Okay.
I think we should.
that worked, guys.
We should hear him out. Go ahead.
Alright, so thinking back about our adventure, how do you think that went? The more I think about it, the combat that we endured didn't seem very smashing at all.
As he asked this question,
are we
by the
getting
way,
on the boat?
You are on the boat. You're getting underway. There is a seagull that is perched on the masthead.
Shh, don't find it.
Oh, I know him.
Boo! I scared the seagull away.
It doesn't go away. In fact, when you look at it, it has a necklace on.
It's a pelican.
Nah, that's Wilson.
Wilson?
Yeah,
Who's Wilson?
I found him on an island.
Whoa!
And,
why does he have a necklace?
I gave it to him
What's it for?
to hold notes and things. He's kind of like a carrier pigeon. Don't tell him that, though. He tends to show up either immediately before or after something important happens in my life. And this being one of them.
Well, that's convenient.
You're telling me?
What's the message say?
It doesn't look like he has one. Well, I mean, I need to write a message because I got the compass and I need to prepare the festivities back at home.
We get to party?
I mean, I'm graduating college, yeah.
Woo! Ray starts jumping up and down and then notices the
And the
rock.
boat.
Yep. And then she kind of like looks sheepish and goes, "Sorry, guys."
I do remember we have a task that we must stay focused on.
Well, of course, but a day won't hurt us. After all, not everybody gets to graduate college every day.
That's true. I'm the first one in my family.
That is so cool! Congratulations!
And I do need to turn in this compass to graduate. So, I mean...
That's true.
What's one day?
Just real quick.
All right, one day.
Morthos.
Yes, one day.
And education is by far just as important in taking a step in the right direction in solving this problem of ours, I do believe.
Indeed.
However, Catman, would you mind writing a summary of what happened in school for me to peruse over?
You mean my school?
Correct.
Sure. I have my syllabus.
Just for information purposes.
Why don't you come with me to my captain's quarters and I'll just give you the syllabi.
Sure.
All right, well, you all be thinking about what I asked, and
Yeah.
tell me later.
No, I thought... I mean,
I was interrupted
I
by
sure
the
smashed things.
A bird, yes.
it went well. I thought as good as it could.
I
What do you
don't know
think, Mr.
quite
Mothos?
what you did in the fight.
I actually don't know what
Besides,
any of you did.
hold your head like this, and they just flinched.
Well, as I have previously said to all of you, I have no experience in the field, and so I did have the knowledge of a mind attack that I utilized. However, I have a few ideas on where to move, where to go moving forward. I just had never been in that situation.
I mean,
so we,
Yeah, I
Quite
think
understandable.
it's a good thing to assess where you were at and then try to move forward in a better direction. So that is an apt assessment of what happened. I think you were just a little ill prepared, but again, you did a great job assisting in other ways outside of the.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Kapow,
I
kapow.
quite agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got that puzzle, like, literally, he walked up to it and was like, I know the answer.
You did nail that puzzle.
And
well, this gentleman here certainly got the start.
well, you know what they say: teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, they do say that,
I've
yeah.
never
Yeah.
heard anyone say that.
Yeah, oh well, they say that, or maybe it's just me, but it does. It works. I think outside of you not being able to kapow pow very well, Morthos and Rubius and Ray all did a wonderful job with the kapow pow.
Yes, I would agree. Ray, actually, though, I found you to be quite brave. In fact, you ran right into the middle of the danger, which is commendable. However, many times I noticed you tried to step in front and protect me, which I thank you for. However, I assure you, I do not need protection, and I think that you would be better suited to help some of the other members in our party should we get into another fight. There are many here who cannot quite take a hit
Like
as
the-
well as I can,
like the
or
coffee
you
man.
can. Yes, like maybe.
Well, listen, I certainly can take a hit. If you did not notice, not one opportunity came up where I was getting hit.
Because you were far behind the danger.
I would say that's
Because my
actually...
brain came into play in protecting my own life.
It would be kind of weird, like, if you're clearly a magic caster, if, say, a magic caster just threw themselves headlong into a battle
I know,
where they have
that
no desire to be there,
almost-
shouldn't want to be there.
Almost stupid that
Like,
would be.
yeah,
It
that would be...
quite dumb for anyone to
Very
do
dumb.
that. He would be probably stabbed multiple times and die.
I mean,
Wait, how else are you
would
supposed
almost
to
say they
fight?
would
A tragic
deserve to
death.
die.
I honestly, I don't know if
scenario.
that'd be tragic so much as just stupid.
Stupid.
I quite agree.
Yeah.
But we learn from our mistakes.
As Mr. Killian said here.
Yes, I met a man named Darwin once, and I think he has some quotes that went along with.
You met him too?
Yes, a couple of times.
He sells the bagels downtown?
Oh yes, same
We're,
man.
we're talking about the same Darwin? No?
No.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, yeah, no, no. Yeah.
I only ask because I'm quite hurt from that battle. I'm feeling it in my bones.
Well,
Oh, eat that berry! It's very delicious.
I already did.
I really did.
I mean, I could... if someone wants to, drive...
Sail, do you mean?
What's the drive?
That's what I meant. If someone wants to sail, I could tell a story of rest, and that will help you feel better.
I love your
gladly
stories.
take the helm while you tell the story.
Okay, and JB, do you want to follow me in the captain's quarters so I can give you the syllabi?
Absolutely.
A quick word with you, Olie, if you don't mind, away from. I'd just like to talk to you in your captain's quarters as well, if you don't mind, before you talk to JB.
Yeah, sure. They're my quarters again now, so yeah.
Yeah. They were always your
I can
quarters.
let people in and out as I so choose.
So Killian, you accompany Oliver in, and you immediately see trinkets all over the place, and you see a number of different blades prominently displayed. You also see a number of different instruments that are kind of against another of the walls with a very large, comfy-looking bed. There is a post in the corner which looks rather scratched, and you...
Don't look at that! you weren't supposed to see that. He quick runs over and puts like a drape over it. It holds coats.
And there's a desk that is prominently centered in the room, a little bit beyond the foot of the bed, that is facing out towards the door that Oliver kind of goes and sits in and welcomes you into his quarters.
Hey, Olie. First of all, I'd like to just congratulate you on accomplishing your task. I think you did an admirable job in all of the things that we went through over the last couple days with the quick sailing and the magic ship thing that moved us over. That was kind of cool.
But JB helped a lot there too.
Yeah, JB did. And I think celebrating this accomplishment is super important.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that you may have been, how do you put this, stretching the truth a little bit about how much time we're going to be spending at your island. You said one day, but I'm not sure that you were telling the truth there. How long are we actually going to be?
Well, technically, you could technically leave after one day if you wanted to. If you wanted to completely insult my entire archipelago island.
We don't.
But you could leave if you wanted.
Well, we don't want to do that. So,
no.
So, what's the actual timeline that we're looking at here?
You could choose to leave on the second evening, again, if you just wanted to spit on the graves of all that have died before me.
Okay, so we're moving into day 3.
Right, so you could leave on the first or the second, but one would probably want to leave after the third day.
Okay.
To give this, and did I say graduation party? It's more like a carnival.
Ooh.
People in masks, lots of food and games every evening for 3 nights.
Yeah.
So you'd probably want to leave after the third day if you didn't want to, just have everyone hate you.
I think, again, it is very important that we accomplish this task. We were directed so by Morthos and his talking lady friend in his head.
I know, that's weird.
It's kind of odd, but I brought us all together, so I'm okay with it. But I think what is important here is some honesty and not leading those who are going to be closest to you for a while astray. We need to...
Like a cat?
Yeah.
Stray cat?
Yeah, like a stray cat.
I get it.
We probably should be building trust rather than deceit. Don't you agree?
And you see his ears start to dip and his head dip, and he kind of gets those, and then he looks at you with those big cat eyes like, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
No, you're right. I'll go tell him that it's 3 days.
Well, let's do it together.
Okay.
And I will be on your side in this, because again, I think we should be moving in this direction. It is important for you to accomplish your task as well as us accomplishing the greater task of saving the world. And I think this will be a good respite for us after a couple long days at sea.
Okay. I say, are you two done in there yet?
Can he come into my quarters?
Yeah, let's address the group first, and then you can show him your syllabi.
Okay. Not yet. I have something to say to the crew, and then you can come in.
I'm not quite sure that Morthos is going in the right direction, so if you could speed this along.
I said south by southwest. Is that what he's doing?
Not what you said.
You said west.
So I come out.
And we're just going in a circle.
Well, that's that's
favorite.
bad. So
The blind
man is piloting the ship.
At least we're not hitting anything.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
And ahoy!
So, Mr. Morthos and everyone, it was brought to my attention by Mr. Killian that are we far enough away from the island now? We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's been brought to my attention, now that we're on the open water, that, I may have stretched the truth a smidge, just a little bit, right? Not a lot. When I said one night,
Is it less than 1 day?
no, it's a little bit.
So I'll butt in. No, you should finish.
No,
you should
I need
finish.
to do
yeah,
this.
you should do it.
It's more than 1 day.
Yay! Party time!
Like 2 days?
Again, you could leave after 2 if you wanted to completely disrespect all of the Tabashi ever
I
known.
do not give a crap about Tibashi.
Morthos!
I mean,
I
I'm
knew
one
that
of
was
them, so
coming.
that kind of hurts a little bit. But yep. So it's a little bit more than 2 days. It's 3.
What fun!
3 nights actually. So it's really 4 days. 3 nights and 4 days.
I see no problem.
Will there be games?
So let
Oh,
me.
there's
Let
gonna be
me.
so many games.
Oh!
So,
I'm really good at games.
Morthos, hold on. Let me just say something on behalf of our good friend here, Olie. Morthos, remember that we were led to the ship and to go out on sea with Oliver. So I think
Yes,
that,
to get to help him graduate.
well,
don't you
this
ask
is
the
Party.
this is all part of that graduation ceremony. And I think it's important for us to celebrate each other's accomplishments. And we do not want to insult our host after being out on the sea a long time.
Never. Nope.
I'm not much one that likes to be out here for a long time, so it would be a good respite as well.
Are you all in agreement with this?
Why don't you ask the voice in your head about it? If she
was a
thinks
little
we should
neat.
stay here for 3 days.
No, she says we need to move.
I don't believe you
at
actually asked her.
Didn't it?
Morthos?
You lied to me there.
Morthos, can we go into the captain's quarters for a moment?
I say I'll
No,
literally.
I ask, do every one of you want to go to this party?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely!
I say
So
I'll,
the fate of the world does not mean nothing to any of you.
The fate of the world can wait 3 days, surely.
I literally have nothing else to do.
What good is saving the world if you sacrifice all of the enjoyment in life?
For instance,
Yes, Rubius, for once, I agree
Morthos?
with you.
Morthos?
I didn't know what
Morthos
that
literally
meant.
Hold on, I
casts
just-
echo, and he goes up into the crow's nest, and just that's where he goes.
Okay.
Up there
So
with Wilson.
does he even know what we're doing after this? Anyway,
By the way, the ship is now just doing whatever it wants to do.
Yeah, he's at
'cause-
I get up. And,
excuse me, Killian. Does he
yes,
even
good
know
sir.
what? Do you know what we're doing after this?
And no, I'm gonna go talk to Mr. Morthos about.
I mean, bring
about
up the
all
point.
this.
It's just
Yeah,
logical.
no,
we don't
I-
know what we're doing. We'll stay as long
I
as we
understand.
need to, yes.
And we are taking direction from.
I
you know.
honestly don't know why emotions have to get involved. So can we just move on from here?
Well, emotions are an important thing.
Let
We've
me
talked
steer.
about
I
this a
doubt
little
it.
bit. No, they are.
Do you have
It's okay.
time for sharing with me?
are you gonna go talk to him
Yeah,
up there?
I'm gonna talk to
I'll go
Morty.
talk to JB. Rubius,
I'll steer. I'm your man.
I want you to drive this ship hard. I mean,
Okay, where do I go?
I bring out my navigator's tool. I get the right direction. I put it in front of his eye. You see that?
I do. Water.
Oh, no. You see the horizon line there?
Yes.
Go there.
Easy.
I immediately point in another direction and I go, Rubius, look, a whale!
Oh, boy.
And as he looks,
What's
I
a
spin
whale?
the wheel a little bit so he's off course.
Straight ahead we go.
The chaotic energy of the ship is impressive.
I got nothing.
You're not here, Oliver.
So Oliver and JB go down into the captain's.
Ollie,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
I might have an answer.
How did that man dupe you?
What do you mean, dupe?
Mr. Cook, not Captain. Pirate, perhaps?
I don't know. He might be.
I say that at some point in your travels, you declared him your friend, And he took advantage of you.
Well, yeah, he did. Yep.
I would just advise in the future, perhaps, dig deep inside yourself, up here. Think about your friendships and choices when you are going to trust someone, especially with a prized possession like this ship. I have to trust in you as we move forward. I cannot second guess your decisions.
Maybe I should.
We'll talk about this later. Can I have the summary of your schooling, please?
And he rifles through his desk and
as you're rifling through your desk, you find your syllabi with ease, but you also find in a drawer, which is not yours, must have been left there.
the drawer.
And you find inside of the drawer.
Switch my table?
What is this? He instantly just starts crawling all over to see what else is new.
Inside the drawer, you find a little vial of ink, which seems to be very fine ink, as well as a scroll tube, which must have been left by Captain Cook.
I don't want it. Do you want this too?
If you don't mind, you can trust me, I promise. I am no Mr. Cook.
Okay, yeah. Is that what you meant by digging deep?
No, well, yes, I could certainly use that
Oh, then it's yours.
that black liquid.
I don't need it.
Great. That is... I appreciate it. What about that scroll as well?
Yeah, go for it. I don't need it.
I truly appreciate this.
My magic's innate.
So, JB, you open up the scroll tube, which just has a little stopper on the end, kind of gingerly slide it out, and read the arcane script within, and it is a scroll of phantasmal force. Which
That's good news.
you have known of this spell. You have sought to utilize it in some of your own practice sessions. You're familiar with it, though seeing the spell completed and written out, you're confident that copying it into your own spell book would allow you to utilize it with confidence and ease in your repertoire.
This is literally the exact thing that I wanted to get from this room.
Well, that's
On top of the syllabus, of course.
it's amazing. Now, if you see there, my first 2 years were under Sparrow, and then my next 3 years were under Whitebeard. That's my internship as well. I was placed.
Okay. So the syllabus, I mean, it says you turn in homework and you do this and you do that, but it does not tell me what you learn.
Like magic and stuff.
All right, well, over time, could you share with me some lessons you may have learned?
Yeah.
I would appreciate, just for my own brain.
Okay.
You are not in this room, young lady.
Actually, Ray is creeping at the door, kind of listening in.
My ear to it.
Yeah, sure.
I do appreciate it. And listen, take what I said to heart, but mostly to your head. It's
Right.
important.
Don't trust anyone unless I get a good feeling about them.
JB puts his head down and walks out of the office.
All right, Killian.
Yeah, I looking up at Morthos and knowing my physical ailments, I actually just change into a squirrel again and climb up. 'Cause
So
I
as
can't
as you go up there, you see Morthos is
Morthos will actually be, he'll have these necklaces that nobody has seen yet, and he'll just kind of be almost just looking at them, like, and you'll see that there's pain on his face as he's just looking at them.
There's enough room for me to change back and sit up there with him.
normally it's large enough for one medium-sized creature, but
I can sit on the
your,
railing.
given your small form, there's enough room for both of you.
Okay.
Hi there, Mr. Morthos.
As soon as Morthos hears his voice, he's going to try to use a sleight of hand, even though it might not work, and literally hide.
Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand.
He's too distracted. He only did 9.
Yeah, I see
You
it.
see him kind of quickly just hide whatever trinket is in his hand. It looks to be a bunch of crystals on the ends of different... Can't tell if it's one necklace or multiple, but it's multiple crystals held together by some golden chains.
Hi there, Mr. Morthos. I just want to commend you again on the really good work we did on the island there. I think you showed a lot of strength, and you know, I know that you've been through a lot, and this is probably the first time I'm assuming that you fought since then. So I just again want to say, with your new eyes and the struggle that might have been there, you did a great job.
Thank you.
I know that it's a little frustrating, or it might be frustrating for you that we have to go to this carnival.
It's not frustrating, it's infuriating.
And it's okay to feel that way. You know, our feelings, they allow us to really understand what is going on inside of us, and allow us to relate to one another. And I'm also, yeah.
Not a single one of these people understand the loss that I have gone through to get to this moment in time. The people that I called friends, my family, are dead, are missing because of this quest. There is nothing more important than letting their deaths mean something. It cannot be for nothing to go to a party. You are telling me that everyone that I have lost is so I can go celebrate at a party? For what? Finishing a task to graduate college. Excuse me if I do not think that is important enough to deviate from this task.
And I understand that. I really do. I've also lost many friends and even my wife. And so I do understand loss, and I understand the importance of a task. But I should remind you that you know, you and I both know that we're not being led by ourselves, but that someone is helping us in this direction of what we do next and which path to take. And unless you aren't telling me something about what you've heard lately, we're still on the original task given to us as a group. Can you tell me a little bit more about? I know we've talked some, but about your friends that you've lost. You know, what were they like? What made them so important to you?
That is...
Rubius, by the way, is looking up at trying to read their lips the entire time.
There have been so many. It's very difficult to talk. Some were foolish, some were wise, but most of the time we just were very dysfunctional. There was one time I remember. We had a young wizard. His name was Vincent. Such a young boy. He was trying to find himself as a man, but never quite got there. He let power get to his head, and before you know it, he was gone. And then it just seemed... there was this one. His head was as thick as the rocks. I mean, I don't know that there was much up there. But he just kind of ran headlong and got himself chomped in half. And he was probably the strongest out of everyone. I mean, he could take 100 hits and never go down. But it only took one dragon, and he was split in two. And with that, Morthos almost just chokes up and... I don't think I can talk about.
It's okay. You don't have to go on if you don't want to, but I think it's important to remember those that we've lost, but also remember what you're fighting for, and understand that Vadra's put us together for a reason, and that you said that your old party was a bit dysfunctional, and I think
That's putting it mildly.
We're still new at this too, and so maybe right now what this is a little bit of a comfort for you is we're also not quite functional yet, and so I think a carnival may actually bring us closer together so that we work better together. What they say, if it's all work and no play, then I don't remember the rest of that saying, but it's not good. So it's good to take a break and give your mind a rest, and celebrate those who are around you. And I think this will be a good opportunity for us just to continue to grow while we wait for maybe some new direction from.
That is true. I have not received a new direction. All right. I will not oppose going to this party, but don't expect me to participate.
Just a smile would be nice every now and then, It's good. As he tries, and it's like really
showing his teeth.
I do want to come back to why you feel like you need to hide things, both emotions and physical. And with that, I just give him a wink so he knows I saw what he was talking about, and then I'll give you some time now, and I'll go back down.
Very good. So you continue sailing on the next couple of days. Ray, you find yourself getting bored, as usual with these sea trips.
Not being able to find any trees to hit except for the mast, which I
Right.
know better of.
Right.
I tried that already, and I got yelled at by Olie.
Exactly. So you eventually kind of take your spot at the front of the ship, sitting down and going through some of your meditations that your mom showed you. And in the midst of one of those meditations, you see flitting out on the waves, kind of keeping up with the ship, a butterfly. It's kind of opal in its wings, refracting the light of the sun around it, and has almost a static flicker of electricity as it floats around. And you just spend a long time just kind of watching it as it goes along with you.
Whoa! Guys, come here! Look! There's a butterfly in the middle of the ocean! Can I jump after it? Can I? What's it doing here?
I don't see anything.
You all look, and none of you see anything that she's pointing at.
I run over the rail and I strain over. Rubius,
The
give me your
ship
blue.
kind of lists a little bit, but
down in the crow's nest.
but does not capsize.
I asked, only out of the interest for you, but might you be having the seasickness?
No.
When you start seeing things?
No, look, it's right there. Use your binoculars and make sure they're the right way.
I see nothing.
Hey, I see nothing either.
I promise you guys, I saw it. I wouldn't lie about
it's
this.
It's still there. It hasn't gone.
It's right there. How do you not see it here?
What does it look like, sweetheart?
Well,
It's a butterfly. It's huge. It's got big scaly wings.
no, it's not that big. It's
not
not
quite.
a butterfly size.
Big
But it's
fangs.
it looks almost kind of staticky, and it keeps changing colors. It goes from dark blue to black to yellow to a lighter blue.
And there's nothing there.
It kind of matches my clothes. Look. And she holds up her shirt.
have you-
Can't you see?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, that's why it's so incredible. Here, let me jump off the ship and catch it for you.
No.
And
That's
she's
not.
one leg is over,
I just trip her with my staff.
Okay.
and she falls back on
She
the deck.
falls backwards towards the deck, and you kind of stand up next to her, just smiling, and she kind of looks at you and laughs because You tripped her, and you're so small, and she's
Right.
so large.
She was on one foot. That's the only reason.
Oliver runs below deck, and he comes up, and he's holding an orange. And he goes, I know what this is. I've seen it 100 times. Peels it open with his claws. You have scurvy? You need to eat this right now.
I take it. I don't have scurvy.
No. That's what you would say if you
Right.
had scurvy.
Wouldn't I also have rashes all over me?
I don't know. I haven't checked you, but maybe you do.
Look, nothing.
Well, that looks like a rash.
How far away is
I
this
was gonna say,
butterfly?
Is it moving or staying still?
I take a big bite of the orange like it was an apple.
And you look back, and the butterfly's gone.
Well, of course, now it's not here, but it was. I promise you, I wouldn't lie about this.
But it
We
could,
like we didn't
it could
see
be
the
the
butterfly.
orange that you just ate, kicking in.
Ray does not make this connection. I take another bite of the orange.
Now, Ray, you make.
This is a really good orange,
I
by the
know.
way.
Yeah, they're only from the best grove north of Sembia. You make sure you have one of those every day. In fact, we all should probably have like one a day.
Or
Yeah.
a good bear.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna.
Here, actually, everybody eat one of these.
All right, very good. So
She immediately goes to her backpack and kind of sits down huffily and takes out a spare piece of wood that she has and starts whittling what she saw.
very good.
Very cool.
Is this still all one day?
No, this
Couple
is
days have passed.
this
Are we
is
healed?
So we can.
yeah. You guys are
Yeah.
back. You're full health. It's taking multiple days to get back to Catalyst.
When we think we're about 3 to 4 days out is when he's going to send the letter.
And Oliver writes a little note and tucks it into the tiny little tube that is affixed to Wilson's neck, and Wilson heads off.
Bye, Wilson! I wave to him goodbye.
JB, you with your sense of magic, you do detect a arcane aura around Wilson. So there is definitely something unique and magical about him. But it's an odd. It's not. Doesn't fit neatly into any school of magic. There's something unique about it. You continue on, and after about 7 days travel, you begin to see a grouping of islands kind of crest the horizon that Olie explains to you as his archipelago, the Catalyst Archipelago. And I don't know if you want to explain some of the history or dynamics of your people at all.
The Tabashi, or Tabaxi, well, I guess I'll say it as Oliver. Yeah, so this is our island. Islands, plural. There's 3 of them. Catalyst, the smallest, where I'm from. My great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Aloysius, settled it. And then next to it, the medium-sized one there is Calico. That's kind of where you find all the shops and whatnot. And then the biggest one with the temples and whatnot, and the colleges, that's Cheshire. That's where you'll find our wizards and our teachers and, you know, some of the government officials and whatnot.
Whoa, so cool!
I agree.
Where are we going? Which island?
I'm from Catalyst. So when someone does something of importance, we have a carnival on their home island. So wait till you see what I had Dad throw on the barbie for us. It's going to be awesome. I hope you like swordfish.
Well, I've never had it before, but it sounds kind of cool because there's like a weapon into it, and I really like weapons. Even though sword's not like my most favorite weapon, I like my hammer, and I brandish my hammer. But, you know, I'm willing to try a fish that can fight.
You know what I also had for you that you can actually use your hammer for?
Oh, what?
Crabs. So, have you ever eaten a crab?
No!
Oh, man. So what you do is you take a hammer, usually a little one, and you crack parts of it open so you can get at the meat. You could just take a great hammer and smash it completely and get at the meat right away.
Ooh, that sounds so cool!
Kind of like an interactive station. I thought you'd enjoy it.
I do, thank you. I can't wait to try it.
Yep. As long as Wilson got the letter back in time, we should have swordfish, clams, shrimp, and crabs.
What
Shrimp,
about
like
those of us who don't eat meat?
Well,
Oh,
you
there's
can
plenty
always,
of fruits and vegetables.
always
on the island.
indulge in some coffee.
I was kidding.
Oh.
I eat plenty of meat.
Also, do you guys like venison?
no,
What is that?
It's deer.
it's a little baby deer, isn't it?
Nah.
Oh, okay, then I'm fine with venison.
Yeah, we also we have sacrificial deer, and then we eat the venison.
Wait, sacrificial deer?
Yeah, deer.
You sacrifice the deer to what?
To the cat lord, our Lord and Savior.
There's only one Lord and Savior.
Yeah, the cat lord.
No. And she shakes her. No, her ponytail's whipping back and forth and maybe striking someone, whoever's standing close.
Do you have a minute to talk about Jesus Christ?
Yeah, so yeah, you know, we
You mean a
we,
nom?
We use them for our sacrificial sacrifices, and then we use the meat. I don't like things with tails, hooves, and horns. You don't have hooves, do you?
Morthos looks at himself and goes, I knew there was a reason I didn't like you.
But you have a tail.
Yeah, but I don't have hooves and horns,
Oh.
antlers, whatever.
I have a tail too.
You don't have hooves.
I don't have hooves?
No.
Alright, well, I got 2 out of 3.
That's fine.
No, I have tails.
Pigtails.
And I shake him in his face.
But yeah, so we'll have some venison, fruits, veggies, and an assortment of seafood. My parents run the local fishery, so that's why
Wow.
we're gonna have a lot of fish.
Let's go. I can't wait to party.
Is there a schedule to this carnival?
Oh, I have no idea about that. I just know it lasts usually 3 days, and it's usually festive and set towards the island that's holding it. So I'd imagine there's going to be games in between. There's going to be arts and crafts shows.
Ooh, I like
Will
arts and
there be drinking involved?
Milk, of course, right?
Oh yeah, we love milk.
I like milk too. It's so good.
I meant of the mind-altering substances.
We aren't. I mean, it's there, but us Tabashi aren't that big a drink. Now, Professor Sparrow, he likes. No, he's also not a
cat
Tabashi.
Well, I wish you
told you
would
about
have
that.
mentioned that you were preparing the list of foods for this festival. I would have asked that you add coffee to the breakfast menu.
Oh, there's no breakfast.
Can we go somewhere else, please?
What about
Breakfast
second
is
breakfast?
the most important meal of the day.
We do intermittent fasting.
Biologically a fact.
Yeah, we fast in the morning, and then we have a big lunch and dinner. As they always say, 2 meals a day is how you make it.
So as Oliver continues to give you information on on your culture's different ins and outs with regard to partying and eating, etc., and neck cracking. We're gonna do our first giveaway of the night, and so if you would like to win the 2 little tiny minis, then type in !party! !party! P-A-R-T-Y, and
'Cause I
you
got
will
it.
have the opportunity to win the 2 minis, which I don't know if they're out there, but we'll get you 2 minis.
There are 2 minutes.
I think there's a little orc guy and a barbarian from last week, and we'll get some minis out to you. And type in !party. We're gonna run an ad real quick so we can get some people in here without having to watch the pre-roll ads. And if you're a sub, you'll be able to keep chatting and watching without the ads, so that's fun. But you also have the opportunity to go tell your friends, quick, come in right now and type in !party, and you can
Free
you get a
stuff.
chance to win some stuff. And we're gonna give away those dice later on. We do appreciate the sub that we got, and the more subs we get, the closer we will be to giving away that sweet dragon that keeps rotating around there. So let me run this ad real quick, and then we'll see on the flip side with the rest of the giveaway.
Check you on the flip side.
Just saying, Ray would very much like if there was mud wrestling on the island.
Mud wrestling.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We're doing an ad.
Yeah.
I'd say,
That's why I said Ray in third person.
I'd say in the morning, if you had an excellent night of beverages and dancing and partying,
Ooh.
when you wake up with that little twinge in your temple, don't be afraid to grab JB's Java right from the cabinet. Put it in your mug. Pour it down your mug. You will feel fantastic.
Oh,
Nice.
And it's not even the right one.
not the right one.
Mind-altering.
In memoriam.
Have you never indulged in that whiskey beverage?
I never have. Or maybe I did. I don't remember.
Where have you been your whole life?
Saying
don't know.
what way?
So if you would like a chance to win the Two Little Minis exclamation point party, and we will get you entered, and then Cackles, our moderator, will let you know who won. So stay tuned for that. All right. So as you pull into the harbor, there is immediately a roar of applause and shouting as the entire dock is lined with tabaxi of all colors and hues.
Ray immediately joins in the applauding and screaming.
Though it is primarily white tabaxi with various hues of spots. And these are, of course, the Ivory Pride from which Oliver hails. And there at the front of the dock, you see what looks to be a strapping, though perhaps a little older, Ivory Tabaxi male. Next to him, he's got his arm around a kind of a tan-colored female with piercing green eyes as you approach. And around them, you see what look to be two twin Ivory Tabaxi females that look very much like Oliver, except a little bit more tan than he is. Oliver is more white like the male. And then there is, next to each of the ladies, a male tabaxi. One is also ivory, and another one is almost a brownish, silverish color. It's kind of got really piercing blue eyes, and then there's a young little male that's pitch black colored, and two little babies that are just being held by their paws.
Aww.
That are both a mix of the ivory and the, well, they're ivory. They're also the white kind of snow leopard spots, which they're all very excited, jumping up and down, even more so than all the rest. And Olie points them out and lets you all know that is in fact his family, his immediate family.
Your litter.
And so you all come into port, and Olie hitches along the docks, and you are invited in and welcomed with tremendous applause as the Tabaxi family welcomes you. And Oliver, your father, just immediately before the ship is even docked, jumps onto your ship and rushes over and just gives you a big hug. And your family quickly follows, and they all just immediately start asking all of you a ton of questions. They are immediately curious and like looking at you all and like kind of just asking you, where are you from? Who are you? What's your name? And after one of them asks you a couple questions, they immediately go to the next, and it's like they're all just kind of just gathering all the information they can, super curious as they're going out. They're all very infatuated with your jewel on your little bow tie there, JB. Rubius. The little boy in particular, the black furred, he is really intrigued by your mustache, and he kind of wants to poke it, and
Keeps falling off.
Yeah.
Stop it! Don't touch it. I mean, good ball.
and so on and so forth. And so, Oliver, if you want to introduce your family.
This is my father. His
Hey, good eye, Al. I'm Al.
Hey, Dad. His name's Aloysius, or Al. We call him Al. And I give him a hug and a header. So we give a hug, then we back up and we nuzzle our heads like cats do.
I go to the father. Hi, Al. I'm Ollie's friends, and I whack the head.
Oh, good old. Oh.
This is a very interesting way of how you greet it. It kind of hurts, but I like it. And I go to the next one and I whack their
And
head.
it ducks out of the way and puts its hand up to your head, holds your face, and gently just gives you a quick nuzzle.
Oh, this is much nicer. Wow, your fur is so soft. These are such amazing family you have.
Yep, that's my mum, Jetty.
Oh, hi, Mom.
This one would not like to hurt her head.
Mum's a smart one there. That's Maggie and Lola. Those are my two sisters.
Heyo, hi.
And that is Felix, her son.
Tries to touch your mustache again.
And that right there,
He snatches it away. Give it back! Young man! Stop him!
I can't. He's just living out his
Well, I guess
trait
I'll just have
destiny.
to grow another.
That would be good.
He
And
has an
that
extra one in his pocket. Oh, here we go.
always come prepared.
Always bring a second stash.
And those twins right there are Mercy and Percy.
They just kind of look at you with big old cute cat eyes.
And yeah, this is my family.
They're so nice.
I know, they're my family.
Let's go play a game, kids. And I run off the boat and we're playing tag.
Okay, and Felix sees you, drops the mustache, and is just all about playing tag with you.
Bart scoops it up.
Oliver's tail grabbed it. All right. In the midst of this, you are ushered into the fish store, which is aptly named.
I forgot.
Look in your backstory real fast.
I didn't write it. We
It
talked
wasn't.
about it.
We talked about it.
It was a clever name.
Yes, I didn't write it down either. I was hoping
Mackerel
you would
something?
remember.
Nope. Something hook.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, sure. Holy mackerel.
Sure. Oh, it's aptly named Al's Holy Mackerel. And you're there, and there's all kinds of fish for you guys to eat, but they tell you not to fill up because the party is going to start tonight. And so you guys have some time to do whatever you would care to do on this island. As you arrived kind of late morning, and the party will kick off tonight with Professor Sparrow kind of congratulating Oliver and having his little graduation ceremony. So, what do you wish to do?
Do I see any nice trees around?
There are many trees around.
I knock down a branch and I start whittling, but nobody knows what I'm whittling yet.
Okay, very good. The little cat kids, they are all following you because no one's ever seen anyone your size before.
I put down
with your color hair and with your purpley pinky locks.
I put down my tools and everything, guys. Do you guys want to go play? I love playing games. What do you guys play on the island? Let's go!
Yay! Follow the big lady!
And for 3 days straight, Ray played games.
Hey, that's what I said. I was going to party. I want to play games.
And so that's what you do,
I
Ray.
am young.
No, I like it.
Killian?
So you see Killian meander back onto the boat, go underneath where animals are usually kept, and Bill the Burrow has been with us the whole time. BT Dubs, and so he's bringing Bill out.
Hey, come on now, good buddy. Let's go see if we can find a little market and maybe sell some of our paintings and see what good fruits and vegetables this nice island has to offer.
Okay. And so you do go out and you mingle with the folks of Catalyst. And there are, again, many people are going about their jobs, but they're also clearly preparing for a celebration. And there are catfolk of all shapes and sizes and hues. It seems like while this is the main island for the Ivory Pride and the Jade Pride and a couple of the other, the 4 original prides that settled here, is a full mixture of all the 12 prides that Oliver explained make up the people of the Catalyst Archipelago. And go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see how well you do with selling your paintings.
Crit.
Natural 20? Ridiculous. Okay.
I love them.
Cash money, it's $1 million prize.
So you are able to sell 7 of your paintings, and you make 70 gold pieces. As the folk are loving the nature landscapes of Everesca, your home, which is far different than the seascapes that they're used to. And so it's something different and unique, and you find that many of them have a taste for it here. Ray, you're playing with the kids. JB, what are you doing?
I say, Oliver, is there a location where I can peruse some educational materials for books or whatnot?
Yeah, it's over on Cheshire. We're just going to have to walk there. And then I have to go to Calico anyway to do a little bit of shopping, and I can point you in the right direction once we get there.
Sure, yes, that's what I'd like to head
So
towards.
you'll find that there are some massive bridges that connect the 3 islands, because they aren't that far apart, and the water isn't that deep between them. And so don't think like, massive Golden Gate Bridge. It's more like kind of smaller bridges that are rooted down deep into the sand, and you're able to just kind of traverse. They are wide, about 20 feet wide, and heavy enough, strong enough for carts to go back and forth between them.
On the way there, I say, Oliver.
Yeah.
Rubius had said that I did not perform that well in the battle, and so I have shared my opinion with you about situations. I'll drop it. But do you happen to have any advice for me for moving forward if we happen to enter into some sort of combat zone?
Well, as you know, I'm an adventurer, but I don't really put the dukes up too much either. So I would probably look for, you cast spells. I've seen that. I'd probably look for things that do some damage.
I tell you, the paper you gave me from your office
Yeah.
certainly seems to be one that may come in handy. I have worked on inscribing it into my bow tie.
Is that what that thing is?
This is a bow tie.
Yeah,
yes.
but I mean, like,
different style, of course. I have not seen anyone else.
you
yet
can
wear one.
inscribe things into it?
Yes, it's a magical trinket that sort of replaces my spell book. If you know of the regular old wizards.
Yeah, I mean, we have some on Cheshire that I've seen. Yeah, they're always carrying the books. I was actually wondering why you weren't. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a replacement. It's more technologically advanced than the book, but it still requires me to obtain the ink that you did hand me and written spells and learn them. But
That's pretty neat. Yeah, that's unfortunately only going to make Bart want that more, though. Just so you know.
And the tail kind of is creeping up closer to your bow tie while you are explaining its unique properties. And you look at it, and Oliver looks at it, and it stops, looks at you, looks at Oliver, and kind of slowly goes back down.
it's all right, Bart. Don't you worry. And I'll attempt to cast Phantasmal Force on Bart.
Okay.
I will create a scene around Bart that involves the most feminine, beautiful tail Bart has ever seen. attached to the most beautiful female,
Yikes.
Tabashi,
Bart has ever seen.
that Bart has ever seen. And it will be a scene where it is attempting to continuously flirt with Bart while I am standing next to Bart's body, who we call Oliver.
And this is a wisdom save.
He doesn't. Oh, to believe it. Intelligence save.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence save,
Oh, int.
Oliver.
I would certainly fail.
That's a 9.
Yeah, so
fail.
it's happening. He believes there's a lady cat flirting with him right now.
Uh,
It also says it can do damage to the person. I choose not to do damage to.
Hey,
It's literally just for my pleasure, knowing what your tail is doing.
JB, I suddenly have the urge to go that way, and you're gonna want to go that way. I'll talk to you later. See ya.
Well, okay, you enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, whatever.
And so
I guess I can't separate the tail from the cat.
you eventually make your way. You eventually make your way to Cheshire, where the libraries are, and you're able to find a library. Everyone is very interested in who you are, and you explain that you're part of Oliver's crew, and they're immediately receptive to you, and they show you into the library. Is there anything specific that you're looking for?
No, actually, I would like to learn about the island. So the history section, I assume around here, is what he was saying, is perhaps there's supply stores for
Yep.
spells and whatnot.
Yep, absolutely.
Check that stuff.
Yep, absolutely. So you do, and you learn that the islands have been settled for several hundred years by the Tabashi people. The first one that was settled was Catalyst by the first 4 prides, of which the Ivories were one. In fact, they were the first. And then Calico was the second that was settled. It's slightly larger. And this was many of the merchants and the shops, tradesmen, more of the industry was here in the central island. And then the final island was the platinums, the electrums, the gold, and the silver prides, which were the wizards and the scholars and the religious folk, the traders, the merchants, the governmental types, kind of the ones who helped to organize all of the prides into one central Tabaxi nation, with their still having their individual prides about them. And most interesting of all, you learn that the Tabashi fled here after having held off for some time, pride by pride, and the reason why the Platinums were the last is because they were the magic users, having held off Drow, who had previously enslaved them for many, many, many centuries in the Underdark, having captured and stolen them from their original continent across the Sword Sea.
Good to know.
All right. Rubius and Morthos, what are you guys doing as you await the party?
Sneaking around the island. There's binoculars going. Oh. Ah, another cat. Oh. A cat.
You do catalog the many different varieties of cat, but it is in fact all cats. There are no pet cats anywhere. There are some dogs.
There appears to be no hierarchy among the cats.
Morthos.
Morthos is just going to slip into the shadows and just kind of walk away.
Brood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I hate life.
Well, the evening comes, and the party begins as all of the Tabashi, as they refer to themselves, begin to celebrate and rejoice at the graduation of their new bard. There are all there's all kinds of dancing and singing and just general partying going on. They have fireworks that they are setting off intermittently throughout the night. There are all kinds of games and competitions that are set up, and it's just a general carnival atmosphere where everyone is celebrating Oliver. And while everyone is enjoying things for themselves, they are all very clearly happy for Oliver in his achievement. And so at some point in the partying, there is a quiet that kind of comes over the crowd, and Oliver is presented with a opportunity to address the crowd and to kind of give his speech of graduation, as Professor Sparrow has kind of explained how he has completed his task. Earlier in the day, you had delivered the compass to Professor Sparrow, and of course he was overjoyed with such and affirmed the graduation. And now, after having addressed the crowd, he turns to you and allows you to give your graduation speech.
And Oliver goes up. He's holding his diploma.
Yay, Olie! Ray jumps up.
And everyone is
starts clapping.
cheering. All the crowd is ecstatic for him.
And Oliver goes into a speech, and he says, Oi, I want to thank everyone for coming. Us Tabashi have not had easy lives. We work hard. And when one of us accomplishes something, we all accomplish something.
There's applause at that sentiment.
Thank you. We know our history. We were ripped from our homeland, sold into slavery, toiled under the earth, and fought our way to our promised land here. And from there we were blessed with traits and desires by the Cat Lord. And he pauses, assuming people are going to...
More reverent clapping.
What does that sound like?
It's actually...
It's like a golf clap?
There's almost like a... There's a little bit of clapping, but it's actually like a collective purr.
Ooh. I like it.
Do I notice, does he particularly look at anyone in the crowd when he's looking out there?
No, he's just...
Not like his mother or father? Or
he
anything?
looks at his family a lot. Looks at Captain Professor Sparrow, and is... he also catches the eye of just many random folks around.
Trying to remember where I was. Oh. And as you know, the trait or the desire that the Cat Lord has bestowed upon me is one of curiosity. Specifically, off-island curiosity. And this diploma that I hold in my hand, my paw, right here, signifies that I am taking the next step in my destiny. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have helped me accomplish what I have to this day. I promise you, I will not stop fighting or working for you. I will continue to represent our people and our prides well, and all of Catalyst and the Catalyst Islands.
applause, the ivories all stand up as they know what you're meant to do, and they kind of wait for you to take on that mantle.
Cat Lord Willing, my new friends, who he has given me.
I had headbutt the nearest person.
Oh, no, right. No. She thinks that's a sign of endearment. Yeah, you get it. You'll be all right.
One cat, which landed on its feet after you knocked it over, kind of rubs its head and looks up at you and just kind of...
I smile wide, like...
And Oliver's tail casts a word of healing at him. Be healed. Sorry about that. So, Cat Lord Willing, yeah. I will be able to, with my new friends, find our coin. I won't stop traversing and scouring this planet until I find it. The ivory coin, and he pulls out his ivory scimitar, so that I may inscribe our story on our family crest and therefore tell 1/12 of the Tabaxi tale.
And with that, the ivories all erupt in applause first, and after allowing them their time of celebration, the rest of the crowd all joins in, and the party commences. And so, as the festivity is going on, what do you all want to do?
Ray looks at the cultural dancing and with a 2 perception fails miserably at dancing it, but is with much enthusiasm that she misses all the steps. However, is quite entertained by this, dancing her heart out.
All right, very
attempting to mimic the...
Very good.
Is Morthos near me? We were all together
You
during
haven't
this.
seen Morthos anywhere.
Okay.
30 Morthos. He doesn't change.
Can I do? I want to try to find him, but if I don't in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'll go off and do my own thing.
Okay. You look for him. Roll a perception check.
Ooh.
How's an 18?
He is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Well, then I want to look around and see if there's a hill that kind of sets back off of the party, so I can kind of overlook. I'm kind of peopled out, and I want to...
You certainly can do that. And as you are sitting there, you actually have a guest that finds you. And while you're sitting there and kind of watching everyone take it all in, you see him coming, and it is Aloysius, Oliver's father. And he looks at you and he says, "Oi, you're Olie's friend, the little halfling, yeah?"
Yeah, my name.
No, yeah.
Yeah, my name's Killian.
Yeah, Killian, yeah.
And your name, good sir, is
Oh, it's I'm Al.
Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Can I join you for?
Oh yeah,
for
please.
a minute?
Would you like some of my Lion's Head leaf? It's a special blend.
Like pipe.
Yeah, it's a pipe. Yeah.
No,
all right.
no.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he kind of sits down, and he begins to smoke a little with you. And as he's sitting there, there's silence. He says, "I don't really know how to ask this, but you seem like the fatherly figure of this crew. Is it right?"
I'm definitely I'm the second oldest here from this plane. I think Mr. JB is a little older than I am, but I never had any kids of my own, but I do have some experience that I like to share with my younger companions.
Well, I kind of have a favor to ask you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What a lovely party you're throwing, by the way.
oh
I
yeah,
appreciate-
yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's Sebastian who had a party. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Mr. Killian, yeah. You see, thing is, I love my boy, and I'm so proud of him. He's amazing and everything I'm not. You know, I'm just a fisherman, humble. He's so much more, yeah. But thing is, not many of those with the insatiable curiosity like he's got. Not many of them come back, you
Hmm.
know. And once they're sent out to find the fate, fate often isn't very good. Yeah. Not a single ivory that's gone out to find the coin has come back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So the good news, yeah, is not a single ivory's ever gone out with a crew like you've got. So I'm hoping that maybe the Cat Lord has got something new in store, yeah? No?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I'm much honored that you would seek me out, and it is true that Olie is a very special lad with great skill, and his curiosity is something to be admired. I take your charge and your favor asking very seriously, and I don't plan on losing any of my companions. I've already grown quite fond of them, and so I will do my best to instill my wisdom and to protect Olie as much as I can. One thing that maybe you could have a talk with him before you leave is about trusting people. He's quick to trust and give himself away a little bit too easily. We've already experienced that, so
I don't quite know what you mean, yeah?
yeah.
I mean, you seem like all you seem like great folks, yeah?
Okay,
And,
so it's a family
wonderful,
trait.
and,
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. I'll do my best to protect him as much as I can.
Yeah, that's really appreciate that, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. How do you like the tobacco?
Oh, it's got a nice rich flavor, yeah. It's a little smoky in the back of the throat, yeah.
Yeah. It's calming. It's something that I've grown my own. Do you have any special vegetables or fruits here you grow on this island?
Yeah, of course. I'm a fisherman.
Yeah.
But this some of the
And the fish was lovely today. Thank you. Yeah.
That swordfish is Ollie's favorite. He was asked that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. No.
the sword thing, with blades. You like to collect them or something. Yeah. That's a weird thing. Anyway, you have any fishing rods? I like them. I like collecting them. Fishing rods. Yeah. Anyway, that's not about me. But you could just watch out for him. Yeah.
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 Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his tail kind of grabs your hand and shakes your hand with his tail,
Yeah.
and he finishes the pipe with you, and thank you.
Of course. I hope to see you around. I really appreciate again everything, your hospitality and kind welcome for us while we're here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, enjoy the party.
Thanks.
And he kind of
And
bounds off.
I get out. At that point, I get out a pretty large canvas and start to paint a landscape of the carnival.
Okay, very cool. As the night wears on, the festivities continue until a little bit after midnight. The commotion begins to die down, and day one of the celebration kind of comes to an end. You guys go to sleep and wake up the next day, and there is the next day is several competitions, and there is an archery contest. There is a dexterity They're all kind of cat-based competitions, things that cats are good at. And any of you are free to enter them if you will, or do whatever else you want to do during the next day.
Rubius sees the archery competition and sees his crossbow and just goes,
Why not?
So
Nothing to lose.
Rubius, you enter the archery competition.
I do as well with my hammer.
Okay. Ray.
You see her lining up with like pointing the hammer at the target and like kind of practicing her throws.
Yep.
We got this, Rubius. We're gonna win this.
I dare say you are correct. The target will be obliterated.
And so, you guys enter the archery competition, which is, it begins first because it's the lengthiest. There are multiple phases to it, and as you pass each phase and qualify for the next level, you can, there's a little bit of a break between, about an hour or so before the next phase of the competition moves on. So you begin with a simple, there are 3 targets, each at a differing length, and each one is worth multiple points, right? So the more accurate you are with the farther distances, the higher points. And you have 10 shots that each of you can take. So for the sake of brevity, we'll have each of you make 3 dexterity rolls and see how accurate you are with your given implements. With your hand crossbow, is that what you're using, or you have your
The heavy crossbow.
the heavy crossbow? You make an attack roll with the heavy crossbow.
Okay.
With your hammer, it's a thrown instrument, and so you kind of get up there and you throw it and then walk in and pick it up again and go back. So go ahead and make your rolls.
Would it be add acrobatics to it?
It wouldn't be acrobatics. It would.
Because that's dex.
Yeah, it's technically your strength. So you can roll your strength.
Athletics?
No, it's just your strength modifier.
Oh, okay.
I'll just treat it as a thrown. Yeah.
The target explodes with a 21.
21, and the second one?
Oh wait, we roll 3 times.
3 times.
22.
Okay, and the third one?
19.
Okay.
She's gotta win.
And so
You just see her run, like sprinting back and forth for her hammer for another throw.
So you throw the first one, it hits the first target and just explodes it. You go back, there is no more first target to aim at. So you throw it at the second target, it explodes it. You go back, get your hammer, throw it at the third target, it explodes it. You go get your hammer and turn around and look for the next target, and the game masters come up to you and they say, "Yeah, well, sorry, no more targets. I guess you
I won, right?
missed the other 7 shots then, yeah, so 3 for 7. Good, that's gonna be a failure, and
You can win it, Rubius!
3 bullseyes. 3 for 10.
Okay. So I rolled a 25, a 23, and a 21.
okay, so
Nice.
you, with those, will extend those out.
He says something before like, "Just an old bird watcher here. Wish me luck."
So bullseye. You aim for the last one. Bullseye. With your last shot, you're like, me shows something quite remarkable. And you aim, and as you focus, there is a flash of recognizance in your mind, and you utter a word that just seems to
He goes like,
I can't even.
I quit.
And as you do so, the arrow hits the target, and it too explodes and blows up in a bursting radius around it. And the game masters look at it, look at you, look back over at Ray, and shake their heads. Unfortunately for them, that was the final shot you took, and so you qualify for the next
This,
round with
thinking
ease.
that the red is disqualifying, goes, missed all 7. Can't believe it. Failure.
So you move on to the next round, and this is a distance shot. And you have one shot to be as accurate as possible
Closest to the pin.
over it's a 300-foot shot, which is at the far range of your crossbow. And so go ahead and roll your attack with disadvantage.
Ray is watching him as he's doing it, and she's whittling from the same thing that you guys.
With disadvantage,
Don't
it's
know.
18.
And so
Oh, man,
you take
only
your
three.
aim and you shoot, and immediately you get the sense that it might hit the target, but it's not going to be a particularly accurate shot. And almost instinctively, you mutter another word under your breath. That was the same word as before.
With a different pitch.
And the arrow shoots off and immediately adjusts course and just directly into the bullseye as it seeks out the center of the target and is the most accurate shot of anyone there. The Tabashi are all looking at you and kind of wondering how you're doing this because it's quite a remarkable feat.
Yay,
Rubius
Rubius!
takes out the binoculars. Good Lord. That was
JB's
quite good, wasn't it?
JB's watching the competition, and all of a sudden he starts seeing teenage Tabashi going. Trying to figure out how he did it.
That's the spirit, Poodles.
With the third round, these now are moving targets where they throw skeets up in the air, and you have to choose one of them and shoot it out. And so go ahead and roll your three attacks, or your hand crossbow, whichever.
That person's an 18. 9.
Okay.
And a 25.
Okay. So the first round goes up, and you, with ease, take out the first clay. Which all have deer heads on them, interestingly. And the next clay goes up, and you think you track it, and then you're distracted by a bird that goes flying by, and it shoots off.
It's the bird.
It's the bird.
I almost hit that penguin.
The Kettless Island penguins.
Knowing that you now need to make up a shot, the third one goes out, and as the clays kind of cross themselves, you again instinctively utter a word, and you shoot, and it actually goes through the first one, shattering it, and then about 10 feet behind it, hits the second one and shatters that as well. And
Intentional, I swear it.
and you now qualify for the final round where they give you all special bolts and arrows that have a dulled tip, and you need to be the last man standing in a five-way duel.
You missed your smashing joke opportunity. Just saying.
And as the 5 top contenders are there are 3 of them which are just jet black fur. It seems that they have a particular propensity to do well with the archery. There is one that is an ivory, and there is one that is kind of an orangish calico color. And as soon as you get hit 3 times, you are out. So you can roll initiative.
Initiative. Okay. Initiative is 13.
Okay.
Another penguin flew by.
Oh my goodness. 3, 5, 9, 10. 6. You go first.
With a 13.
Good, bro.
It's true too. He didn't even fib those.
All right. So, shooting with my heavy crossbow. This time, because it has a better sight on it. How many
So,
attacks am I rolling?
How
many am I rolling attacks?
Yeah, roll your attack roll.
20.
20. As you look at your first opponent, you kind of set your sights as he quickly moves to aim to you because you've been obliterating these competitions. And as you do so, your fight or flight instinct kicks in and you utter another word. And as you do so, the arrow releases and it hits him in the chest, and immediately his face turns from furrowed eyes to a bright smile as he looks at you, beguiled, and he turns.
Smack some sense into you.
He turns away and just shoots at the guy next to him and it hits right into him. That guy turns and shoots him back since he just got shot, and the other two take their shots at you, and that is a 5 and a 7. These dice are done, and you just kind of. They both shoot at you, and you jump up and kind of twirl through the air and land back on your feet. As you land in a 3-point stance and fire your next shot.
Which will be a 20.
This one hits the guy who nearly hit you. It hits him right square in the chest as you utter another word, and he completely disappears from the playing field as you banish him from...
How do they react to that? He killed Kenny!
The crowd just goes wild, and all the other combatants now look at you, and the one that's charmed shoots the other one again, and that guy shoots him back, so he's been shot 3 times. There's now 2 left, and... the last one takes a shot at you. That's a.
Can I attempt to shoot his arrow out of the sky before it hits me?
So as he shoots it, you see it coming, and go ahead and take your shot.
It's 10. It would have been cool.
As the arrow misses him, but roll another attack.
16.
16, as you utter the word and it passes beyond the arrow and hits the guy who shot you, and immediately his eyes are blackened with darkness, and he just starts shooting in different directions, unable to find his target.
What was his attack originally?
He
missed it?
It was a 2.
Well, yes.
Yeah, he missed. The guy who's charmed takes another shot at the guy who was hit, takes him out, and it's just you and the charmed guy.
I aim my sights at him. I feel like we're friends, but that will not stop me. Take one more shot at him.
And so he is down before the banished tabaxi comes back, and he is just blinking his eyes wildly, not knowing what's gone on, and you quickly, boom, 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 hit him with 3 shots. The crowd goes wild as you have, without taking any damage to yourself, completely annihilated all opponents. And as you reflect back on what has happened, you remember 2 of the words that you spoke and recognize how they were somehow connected in. Connected in with your past.
I remember those words.
All right, very good. JB.
Pretty much all of the day before, during the party, and right now, I will be standing at the end of the buffet line where the drinks are served.
Smart.
And I would be sampling out flavors of JB's Java to the local people, hoping to find an interesting or an interested merchant looking to maybe invest in JB's job.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, perception.
I think I have no bonus to perception. So, that is a 17.
You do find a fat cat that is wearing some gaudy golden jewelry. And he takes a liking to your Java. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see how good of a deal you can negotiate for yourself.
11.
He offers you, if you supply the beans and educate him as to the means of the brewing, he will sell them and cut you in on the take at a 20% commission.
Now listen. I see you are a shrewd businessman. Are you saying you'll purchase my my ground beans, and you will furthermore offer me some percentage of the sales that you take to the kiddies here?
What this one says to you is that you will supply the beans, you will educate me with the means, and I will give you a take.
Yes. Well, what is that take?
20%.
Yes. All right. Well, we will be here for a few days. Do you have a business card?
I do.
Excellent. And so, you're on the island.
I am on Calico.
Okay, I'll visit you in the next 2 days if that's all right.
It would be this one's pleasure.
Excellent. This one is also pleased.
And he leans into you and nuzzles your head and walks away.
Thank you. I do not nuzzle back.
After that interaction and exchange, you hear a little chuckle behind you, and there's a higher pitched voice. You turn and you see a platinum tabaxi, a female. She has kind of an undertone of her fur that is kind of brownish, almost chocolatey, except the tips of her fur glisten and gleam with a silver platinum color. She has blue jewels that hang from a fragile-looking laced tiara that's resting on the crown of her head. And she wears a sandy silken dress that hangs loosely past her thighs that seems to be mostly for show, because underneath it you can see barely peeking out chainmail made from an almost translucent white metal that clings closely to her body. With your education, you know this to be mithril, a very rare and pricey armor material. She does have a belt slung across her hips, from which is chained a leather-bound book, and on the other side is a holster that contains 3 different wands. One wand in particular stands out, as it is intricately inlaid with what looks to be platinum, gold, and silver and electrum. And there's a large, round depression inside the wand, circular in nature, which prominently has displayed what looks to be a platinum coin. She laughs, and you turn to her, and she just kind of motions you to follow. She's kind of standing back in the shadows, briefly framed by flashes of fireworks, but she's not really out in the open. She's kind of just taking it all in, but watching you in particular.
I say, my lady, are you also interested in some business for adventures and opportunities.
This one is indeed interested in your treasures and trinkets and adventures, and perhaps can interest you in an adventure of your own.
Well, I'm not much of an adventurer, but I recently have acquired a few acquaintances that have dragged me along. Hopefully I can be of some use to them.
Yes, you are a friend of Oliver. This one knows this and has been sent by the Cat Lord.
The Cat Lord.
Indeed.
You met the Cat Lord.
This one interacts with the Cat Lord with frequency.
Wow. Okay. Alright. I have never met the Cat Lord, I promise you that.
Well, I assure you, the Cat Lord is very real and
I did not doubt it.
interested in your assistance of Oliver.
Oh,
Would you please?
I would certainly appreciate help with that.
Yes.
What can I do for you,
Well,
ma'am?
you are a wizard, are you not?
I do practice the arts of the arcane.
As do I. And the divine.
Okay.
This one has been sent to help you remember.
Remember what? I don't often forget anything.
I do not know what I am to help you remember, only that I am to help you unlock what has been restrained.
Well, why would anyone restrain me? I have done nothing to.
May I?
May you what?
She
Yes,
hol-
here, have
she-
some coffee.
She takes a cup and takes a sip. Ah, it is delicious.
You can add milk to this. Olie said that he enjoyed it that way.
Now, may I?
Yeah, sure, have some more. Yes.
She puts the cup to the side, and as you reach forward, she just takes her finger and taps you right in the middle of your forehead. And as soon as she does so, you find yourself no longer standing in the party grounds pouring coffee. You find yourself standing back in your laboratory in Ravnica, pouring a beaker into a mixture, a solvent that you are making, and there are several Vedalken around you as they are watching you mix up this concoction. There's a giant Tesla coil next to you that is arcing with electricity all around. Several of the arcs latch onto you with, as you know, no problem at all because everything is grounded properly. But you supercharge the concoction and you pour it out as you take notes in your spell book. And as you pour it out and you complete your the ritual, another Vedalken comes in and utters some words and picks up the stone, the large block of lead that you were working, and fixes it in the middle of the air and releases it. And you watch as he keeps it suspended in the middle of the air, completely immovable. And as you watch, you remember the final words to the immovable object incantation that have eluded you for so many years. As you take this in, you watch as
Bazinga.
another Vedalken applauds your colleague and makes a couple of notes and does marks a square sigil in the air as a pocket dimension opens up, and he takes his book and puts it into there, and then it disappears into a similar dimension on his wrist. And you remember the motion now for casting wrist pocket to be able to open up a small pocket dimension and to hide things in. Finally, as your last colleague readies the next potion, you watch as he casts a spell on himself to give him a little bit of extra dexterity and advantage in making sure he is mixing the beakers just right as the Tesla coils arc around him very carefully as he super infuses the elixir, and as he's about to, you see his hand shaking with one of the arcs. He speaks a word, and immediately his hands steady, and he finishes pouring the elixir out. And you remember now the trigger word for Fortune's favor, so that you can assist yourself or your colleagues with having advantage on different skills and tasks that they utilize, or when people are seeking to do damage to them. As you take this in, you kind of put your beaker down, and as soon as it rests on the table, you find yourself back in the party, having put your coffee mug down, and the tabaxi is smiling at you as she takes her finger away, and she says, "This one thinks that was delicious, yes?"
I see. I do declare that I did not realize I had forgotten so much. I thank you and the cat lord.
This one needs no thanks. Your praise to the cat lord
No, thank you to the cat lord. Yes.
is much appreciated.
Yes. Wow. Well. What is your name?
Oh, my name. Roll persuasion. 10. My name is not important as of now. This one shall retain her anonymity. Know, however, that the Platinum Pride greets you as friend. And she leans forward and gently nuzzles the crest of your brow. Lingers a little bit longer than the businessman did.
I'd like to smell her.
She has
Knowledge can come in many forms.
She has a faint and wonderful lavender smell to her that kind of gently wafts off of her fur.
While she has her head there, I'll make sure to put my hand on the bow tie just to make sure it's still there. Keep an eye on her tail.
Yep. As you reach your hand up to touch your bow tie, she actually meets your hand with a scroll and backs off and says, "One final gift from the cat lord that this one has for you."
I do not know why I have been so blessed. However, I appreciate your hospitality.
This one welcomes you. And as she steps back into the shadow, she turns invisible, and you do not see her again.
Sneak.
All right.
What spell scroll?
Yeah, I open the scroll. What is it?
It is a scroll of web, except it's unique in that instead of the webbing being silky, spidery webbing, it's actually sticky fur balls. Like that a cat would hack up.
Gross.
In fact, that's how you cast it.
Well, I'll have to adapt this spell if I can.
And you certainly can. Morthos, you are doing what?
He would just be. He's going to be up on a hill, kind of overlooking the festivities.
Obviously.
Different hill,
because
he would have made sure to stay away from anyone. And he'd just be, so friendly. He's just going to be sitting up there, almost in a meditative state, going through some of the meditations that he learned after he became blind.
Okay.
And he's going to kind of just sit there and keep looking
Up and to the left.
up and to the left, hoping that Vajra will say something to him, getting frustrated that he hasn't heard anything from her in a while. And then, after some time will pass, he will sit there and meditate, and then just kind of his echo will appear to the left of him.
And so the form of a radiant, glowing female monk appears sitting on the ground next to you. Arms kind of over knees, and she looks over at you, waiting.
Ay, Sola. Dude, look. They think this is a joke. They party, they have no idea what is going on in this world. I am so frustrated. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get them to understand the importance of what we are trying to accomplish. What you gave up. What so many of our friends gave up. It can't be for nothing. Yet they are here. Look at them. They are dancing and laughing, and like they forget or don't even realize what is going on in the world right now.
Morthos, my friend, and she reaches out to touch his hand, and her hand passes through his, and a sad smile comes up on her face. A world without rest would be like a man without a smile, like a summer without flowers, or a homestead without a garden. There is a time for everything, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. So take this time, take this rest to remember why you are fighting. Take this rest so when you are in the midst of the storm, you remember this time and the reason you're fighting, and you can continue on. You have lost your friends and your family, but perhaps these new people can be your family, just like I once was. And a sad smile crosses her face again.
You say that they could be my family. I don't think I could go through loss again. I don't think that I could handle what happened to our friends again. I don't know that I am strong enough to make them get through. How do we get through this? They are so weak. They are not prepared for what we are going to encounter.
They are weak, but together, you guys are strong. With Pelor's help, who has called you and saved you, you can do all things.
Family, you say?
As you think on Sola's words, she says about the new family. She kind of looks past you, and you kind of follow her gaze, and from out of the shadow emerges a small little tabaxi child in black fur, who you recognize to be Felix, Oliver's nephew. And he looks at you and he says, "Hey, yeah, Mr. Morthos, right? Yeah? No? Yeah?
Yes, that is my name, young one.
I saw the pretty glowing light up here, and I thought, let me check it out. And now you found you, and I was just wondering, like, what?
It's pretty cool, no?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, yeah.
Hello, young one.
And watch this. She disappears.
Wow.
And comes back.
Hello, young one.
It's really cool, yeah. But I mean, maybe you could do that for like all my friends because, like, everyone's celebrating and you're up here like, you look like there's like tears in your eyes or something.
No, there's no tears. Nothing. The bug flew in my eye.
You have misseen, child.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
And she
glowy
gives
lady.
Morthos a wink.
Okay, glowy lady. Yeah, are you Ollie's friend too? Yeah, Uncle Olie.
You could say in spirit.
All right. Well, why don't you come join the party in spirit then? Yeah, yeah. Come and celebrate with us, Mr. Morthos.
I will try this thing they call partying. I mean, I have done it before. It's just been a long time.
Come on, the whole family's down there. Yeah.
Sure, young one. Lead the way. I will come. And he kind of looks back. The echo disappears, but he just kind of smiles and starts walking.
See, look at that, Mr. Morthos. Yeah, you're part of our family now. Yeah.
What did you say?
You're part of our family now. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
You hardly know me.
Oh, Uncle Olie says you're all right. So you must be all right.
Ah, Olie. That one has a lot to learn. But all right, young one, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm Felix. You can come
Felix?
with me.
All
We'll
right.
have a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we go get some food? I've kind of been up on this hill a long time. I'm a little hungry.
About a
And
day and a
so-
half.
He takes you to go get some food. The second day comes to a close, and you have the middle of the next day now. And Ray, as you are going through your exercises to kind of meditate and center yourself,
Like I'm meditating.
having been thoroughly exhausted from the first 2 days of frolicking all about, as it all kind of comes catching up with you.
She's doing the dead man's position in yoga, where you really just lay down on the ground and sleep.
And as you are kind of drifting away to sleep, your eyes just kind of catch a little bit of light, and you open them as the same butterfly you saw before flitters overhead and goes past you.
I look around for, do I have an orange on me? And I check my backpack for an orange, and I take out my little butterfly whittle that I've made. It's the same one. She immediately sits up. Is it like around her, or did it fly away?
It flew past her, and so you sit up and turn around, and it is flitting towards the cliffside.
Leaving her backpack there, she just clutches on to the wooden butterfly she makes, stands up and sprints. Wait! What are you doing, butterfly? And she sprints after the butterfly.
Okay, and so you sprint past the butterfly, and as you get faster, it gets faster. And it
Wait for me!
And it flits up to the edge of the cliffside, which kind of overlooks the ocean beyond and the Catalyst archipelago, and it stops.
It's like one of those cartoons where they come to a cliff and they skid for a couple feet, hanging right on the edge, her arms pinwheeling as she takes a step backwards.
And as you meet where the butterfly is, kind of stopping your momentum, you actually pass through some breach in reality. And you no longer find yourself standing on the cliffs of Catalyst. Instead, you find yourself standing on the mountain cliffs at the base of your home mountains overlooking the sea.
Mom? Dad? And I start trying to climb up the mountain.
The mountain is back
She
behind
starts
you.
running towards the mountain.
As you start running towards the mountain, it's like you're on a treadmill. You go nowhere. It is forever before you. And you quickly realize you're here, but you're not here.
She just kind of falls to her knees and goes, Mom, Dad, I miss you guys so much.
And as you say that, you hear a rumbling sound coming from the ocean behind you, and you turn, and there, overlooking the ocean, you see the churning of the waves below you, which is quickly followed by the crest of a head coming through the water. You smile quickly as you recognize this as a storm giant that is emerging out of the waves.
Dad!
As you call out for your father, you see a fully grown male storm giant wielding an enormous staff. Immediately you know this isn't your father, but he still captures your rapt attention. He is clearly aged, and as he comes up out of the water and steps up to the cliffside next to you, the cliff is about 40 feet above the water. You stand another 7.5 feet tall, and the top of his head is taller than you as he stands in the waves. He's standing probably about 60 feet tall from top to bottom. He has deep lines about his eyes, and as the smile crests his face, you can see the age in his look. He's balding, but what little hair he does have around the sides of his head is perfectly groomed and flows right into a stately beard that has gold clasps interwoven into the thick strands of gray hair. He wears a fine white toga inlaid with turquoise and yellow accents of waves and storm motifs. And he looks at you and he says,
Morthos said that you would be bigger.
You know Morthos?
Well, I know him vis-a-vis Nain. Anyway, that's a story for another time, young one.
Who are you? I'm Ray. Well, really Ray Esmeralda, but you can call me Ray.
Oh, I know you, Ray. You are, well, my great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter.
Great. I lost count. Which one are you? Are you? Let's see. There was Jericho. There was Moshi. There was which one?
I've heard you refer to me as Morty.
Oh, Morty! You're like my friend Morthos. Hi, Mordecai.
That's right.
She jumps up, learning from the cats of how they greet, and she tries to whack her head against his.
and as you do so, you kind of headbutt his nose, and he doesn't even flinch. He just kind of chuckles. I love that vigor that you have, young one.
I have heard so many stories about you, but what is this place? What am I doing here? Why are you here? What is this?
He waves his staff at you, and then puts
How
it
do you
back.
know my friend Killian does that?
Child, I am always with you, as are all of your ancestors.
You are? But how?
He kind of gestures towards your hammer.
She just looks at it with a confused, like a confused furrow on her face.
That hammer is an ancestral weapon. Through it, all of the power of your people flow into you and through you and fight for you.
Whoa.
May I see it?
Of course!
So you hold out the hammer, and he kind of lifts his giant hand to you, and you lay it into his hand, and as it meets his fingers, it immediately grows to an enormous size.
I didn't know it could do that!
He holds it up with the two hands, and he looks at it, and as he does so, it begins to glow with an inner light that you never knew that it had. And as the light gets brighter and brighter and brighter, as quickly as it starts, it stops. And as soon as it fades, it now has a gold inlay that you never saw before. The base of the handle is now covered in a gold cap. There are gold rings that now ring parts of the handle. And the metal that held the stone together now has a fine gold inlay that goes around it.
Wow. And her eyes are just huge as she just stares at the hammer and Mordecai.
He holds it out to you, and you kind of grip the base of it with both of your hands, and as you do so, he releases it, and as it starts to just fall under the immense weight, it shrinks back to your size.
Thank you, Mordecai! This is so cool! I can't wait to see my fighting with this! I'm so excited!
As you move forward, know that we fight with you. The gold in the hammer symbolizes the richness of your people and of their power. And you now wield this weapon for the good of us all. You have been called for such a time as this. If you do not stand up and boldly seize the opportunity given you by Anam, our people will be overcome by a storm that even they cannot endure.
A storm the storm giants can't endure? That is such a huge task, and I'm not even purple-skinned. But I don't even have the blessing of Anam. I mean, I have the call of Anam, because obviously I felt the call to go to the east, but I don't have
As
the
you're
blessing.
talking, he waves his stick goodbye and disappears
Wait,
into the
no,
waves.
Mordecai, I have so many more questions.
And you find yourself standing again on the shores of Catalyst.
But how do I know I'm going in the right direction, Mordecai? How do I get back?
As you ask these questions, you glance at your hammer and see that the gold inlay is still there.
I hold it out in front of me and I go, Mordecai, the power of thinking. Olie taught me the power of thinking. And I stare at it and I kind of like think really hard and go, Mordecai.
And as you do that, the butterfly reappears and lands on the hammer.
How do I know I'm going in? I'm talking directly to the butterfly. How do I know I'm supposed to be with these people? We saw the storm in the east, but we're definitely not at the storm. How do I know that I'm supposed to be with them? Some lady from some far out that some guy hears in the head.
The butterfly starts flitting around, flies around you, and then flies into your heart and disappears.
Ooh.
Well, that was a little creepy. She's gonna think really hard if she feels like any fluttering in her heart.
She gets the sense that she is to trust her instincts and follow her heart.
But how am I supposed to trust my instincts? She looks down at her gray common skin. Well, I guess my instincts, well, not really my instincts. Some lady in this guy's head who doesn't even hear. She's clearly talking to the butterfly she found flying her chest. Like she's looking down. Well, I guess I should just follow this guy who has this lady in his head who's telling us what to do. I guess those are where my instincts are until Anam leads me differently.
So
We have 3 people that have internal monologues.
We're gonna find out we were all really in an insane asylum.
We wake up and it's a padded room.
Shutter Island.
So the third night comes, additional festivities move
Am I stuck on this
forward.
island still?
You're on Catalyst.
Okay,
Yeah.
got picked. I didn't know.
And you guys, all 6 of you, enjoy the activities.
I win the archery contest.
Hug and a handshake.
The undying respect and gratitude of the Tabashi marksman.
I'll take it.
Morthos, Olie, Killian! And she sprints to the group. Guys, look at my hammer. First off, I told you that butterfly was real. It came and it talked to me and it turned into one of my ancestors. And now it's in my heart, which is a little creepy. I don't really feel it fluttering. But anyways, look at the hammer. Now it's all gold and they see that my ancestors are in me. And
You guys do see that her hammer is now inlaid with fine gold.
I hold up the butterfly. I wasn't lying about my wooden butterfly. Look.
I say stop it. You're doing a lot of chopping, but no chips are flying.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh yeah, me neither actually. But I have well, I guess I do have an idea.
I'm gonna wisdom check that.
As you all get back together and you have completed the festival, Oliver has graduated and been given his diploma, made his speech, is now officially a bard, graduated from the College of Swords. You all gather back at the ship, and
I'd like to set up a trade deal beforehand.
you now must discuss and discern and determine where you will go from here. And that is where we will pick up next week. All right, very good.
Hey, look at that.
Well, thank you all for hanging out with us as we got to do a little role-playing episode here and do some more storytelling and development. And just so you know, as you're watching, we are seeking to do just as much role-playing as combat, if not more so. And we just feel like that's a more interesting story to tell. And so that's kind of how we're approaching our little game here. And don't worry, Morthos, we'll also have combat. We know that you like that the most.
It's quite simple. Likes to hit things.
But we really appreciate you being here. And come back again next week as we do some more giveaways. And hopefully we'll be able to make some additional improvements that allow us to have an even sleeker presentation. And we're just going to continue to make improvements as we go. But we, again, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern when we continue to loot, die, and repeat. Have a great everyone. Cheers.